guys, how you doing today? I wanted to show you this crazy wacky plant. I absolutely love this plant. I bought it as a few cuttings, I think it was probably 2 or 3 years ago now. Look how weird this thing is. I think these were the original cuttings that I bought. See how much fatter and wider they are than the new shoots, and look at all of these crazy air roots coming out. Now this is, okay, get ready, Selenicereus Wercklei. It is a gorgeous little plant. Now this is epiphytic, lithophytic, a terrestrial cactus. It is found in Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean, and I think it's northern South America. But it's actually is native to Costa Rica. So it can grow up in trees, on top of other plants, it can grow on rocks, it can grow in the soil. So it's really cool, and it is night blooming. It gets beautiful, beautiful white blooms on it. I will put pictures up, actually right here. So you see how beautiful the blooms are on it. You can see how crazy of a little plant this is. I think these were, you can tell the bigger ones I think were my original plant when I bought, or cuttings when I bought it. This is a really cool little plant. Now this plant likes a lot of bright light, and I keep it, I pretty much treat it like I do my Rhipsalis. I don't let it dry all the way down. You want like an evenly moist soil, and I feed her all the time with my fish fertilizer. Now you can see I just took her down last night and I watered her really good. She's got a rotten, may have gotten broken or something. I'm gonna take that off and throw it away. But what I want to do with her today is I want to propagate her. I want to fill in, you can see the back. Let's see if I can lift her up and show you. You can see the back of the plant is kind of naked. So I want to fill that in, and she needs to be repotted. See the roots coming, oh, see the roots coming out of the bottom. So I need to find her a bigger pot and get her into that. I would prefer to get her into a hanging pot. I've had her in a basket. This broke off last night, so I'm going to set it aside for now, and then I'll show you how I propagate this plant. I've done it several times. As you can see, I have several cuttings in here. Okay, so I think before I repot her, I'm going to go ahead and take my cuttings that I want to propagate. I've got a little pot right here all ready for her, and this is all dry soil and perlite, and then I'll show you how I do my cuttings. It makes it a little bit easier. Okay, let me back up here just a little. Alright, I'm just going to go around, and like I said, I just watered her last night, so her roots are all nice and plump and full of water, and she is ready to go to propagate. So I am just going to pick some areas. I'm going to cut this off. There's another probably broken area, and I'm just going to take some cuts. Just going to go along and randomly pick out some different cute little, take that one, and I'll cut that one off, because I'd like to fill in the pot really well on the back. So here's another cute one. It's got a lot of little aerial roots on it. Okay, let's stop for now and see what we got. I will move this out of our way. So all I'm going to do is try not to knock that over onto the floor. I'm going to take all my cuttings in my pot. Now this pot, like I said, is all dry soil. So I'm going to take all my fresh cuttings and every piece that was fresh, I'm just going to put it down into my dry soil. Oh, maybe. I'm trying to see which side was which now. Okay, that was my fresh side. Tap it down here a little bit. I guess we need to use a stick. Use my stick. And then I'm just going to put it down. Get it down there nice and deep. Make another little area here. Take the other piece that's cut, that one, stick it down in here like that, tap it down, make me another little hole here, take that other fresh cut, stick that down, just keep going along. Just make sure you're putting the cut piece in the soil, in your dry soil. Make another little piece, or another little hole for another piece. And I think I'll do one more and put it right here. I'm going to cut one more little piece off. And we'll do this one. It's sticking up kind of wonky. So once again, taking that piece, sticking it down in the soil. And that is all there is to it. Now, what I'll do is, since these are all stepped down into dry soil, I'll wait about 3 or 4 days. I know they're nice and calloused over. She was watered really, really good last night. And so in a few days, I'll come in and I'll lightly water it. And then she will start doing her thing and start growing. And then later, I can put her in the back of my plant. So it's super simple doing it that way. You don't have to remember to do a whole lot except for in a few days get her watered in well. Now, let's dump out this big plant, look at her roots, and get her in. I found a really nice hanging pot to put her in, so let's do that. Alright, I'm going to grab her from over here. You can see all her little roots coming out. I want to get her into a hanging pot. I had her in a basket that was hanging, but she is just, I like the basket that she was in, but I want to get her into a regular pot so I can keep a little bit better eye on her. Get this through down here. Oh, I got a rack in there. You can see all the perlite. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to lay her right there. There's another rock. So I'm going to go ahead and add a bunch more perlite to this mix. Just kind of get it mixed up nice and good. Oops, you guys can't see over my cup, can you? And then I'm just going to take my hanging pot. I love these pots. These are the pots that come from Lowe's with other plants in them. And I love it because they have the hangers that twist and turn. I know they're kind of ugly, they're brown, but I don't really care. So I'm just going to nestle her down in here. I got too much soil in here. Trying to see where everything is going here. The plant kind of fell apart, but that's okay. She will go right back together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle some more perlite in there for her. Because beans, they like to stay moist, but you also want good draining soil. And this plant grows so wonky. I mean, you can see it's just kind of like all over the place. And I love it. I love these crazy wonky plants, but I want to try to, I'm going to move this before I spill it, knock it off my table and spill it all over my clean floors. I'm going to try to arrange her here. Try to get her a little less wonky. But it's what I like about this plant and other Rhipsalis and other of the Cereus family is they grow so cool. And they're just all so different. And it's nice to have beautiful plants that grow nicely and just behave themselves, but it's also really nice to have these wonky, out of control, Medusa, crazy plants. I love it, and even though it's been kind of weird to tame back, keeping her all growing to one side like this, where, oops, I see a big root tucked out of there. Keeping her all growing to one side for me, because I have so many plants and I have so many hanging plants, works well for me. So in the summertime, she hangs out on my front porch, which is like a northwest and a northeast light, because I've got like 3 sides to my front porch. And she really likes it out there. And in the winter, when she's growing here in my plant room, she's in a west window, and then she also gets grow light. Some grow light hits her, so she's pretty happy so far. And I keep her evenly moist. I don't let her dry all the way down. And you can see she's just going crazy nutty, like Medusa. I love it. But these get really, I did not realize the stems got as thick as they do. They're like the size of, well, they're bigger than a pencil. You know, if you guys can tell, they're bigger than a pencil. They start out small and skinny, and then they just get fatter and fatter and fatter, and then they start pushing out all these new little crazy new pieces. I love it. It kind of reminds me of, oh, what's that cactus called? A pickle cactus, or I don't know, something. I don't remember. Or like a pencil cactus or whatever, but it's way fatter. and it's got the drooping, instead of growing straight up, it's got that drooping quality, which I love. So you want it bright light. They can even take a lot of like morning sun. You probably wouldn't want to keep them out in the full sun in the hot afternoon. And then evenly moist. They love humidity, but they can also grow in a very dry climate from what I read online. So that's perfect for those of you that don't have a high humidity situation or don't run humidifiers in your home. She will do perfectly fine. That's what all these little air roots are for. They reach out and grab moisture for the plant, so that's really cool. So then as far as the cuttings go, I'm going to wait 3 or 4 days, and then I'll go ahead and water them in really well. In the meantime, they will dry out naturally in this dry soil situation, and they'll be ready to get on their way, and then I can add more around here and then have a nice full bushy plant. So, alright guys, that is it. I am going to let you go, and I will talk to you later. Bye.